December 22nd on the floor of the State House.
All those in favor of the motion.
A series of budget-related votes with impacts on everything from your property taxes to your children's schools.
We need to give Pennsylvanians a budget.
But the vote happening in this video just beneath the camera's sight was separated by a margin of only one.
The yeas are 100. The nays are 99.
And we know now some members voted more than once.
You consider that voter fraud?
I consider voter fraud on the floor of the House.
Republican Representative Daryl Metcalf was among the first to notice several colleagues missing. Democrat Peter Daly says he wasn't even in Harrisburg that day, but in Western Pennsylvania at legal hearings for his private practice. And Democrat Leslie Acosta from Philly tells us she was out of the country in Nicaragua on an emergency trip to care for her ill father. And yet we found both of their names listed among the tiny majority voting yes. Representative Daly says he was as surprised as anyone.
I said, I'm on leave. I sent the leave in. That's what I'm required to do. I should not be voting.
Other members had apparently punched in votes for the absent members, swaying the outcome in favor of supporters.
How does a representative vote for someone else? Is it as simple as pushing a button?
What's what everybody has a yes or a no button at
And
their,
so they're
at their
just
desk.
pushing somebody else's button?
That's correct. I watch Representative Schlossberg lean over and push Representative Daly's button.
And you watched that happen?
I watched it happen.
So-called ghost voting is against the rules set by these rule makers. Quote, no member shall be permitted to vote and have his or her vote recorded on the roll call unless present in the hall of the House during the roll call vote. But when we combed through every voting record for December 22nd, we discovered Acosta and Daly were listed as voting 5 times each between late morning and mid-afternoon before they were finally marked on leave for the last vote of the day shortly after 4. Barry Kaufman of Pennsylvania Common Cause says ghost voting can change outcomes and fuel public cynicism.
What this really comes down to is government integrity and the ability for the public to hold their officials accountable.
In order to hold those officials accountable now, the NBC 10 investigators contacted Allentown Representative Mike Schlossberg, who Metcalf allegedly saw double voting.
Did you press another representative's vote button that
Yes.
day? Is that standard?
I would say it's something that happens in the House from time to time.
Schlossberg says House votes happen so quickly, members sometimes vote for an absent neighbor who's in the restroom or away from their floor desk. He insists a miscommunication left him thinking Representative Daly was nearby.
I think that it is safe to say that this is something that happens from time to time in the House from both parties. Calling it voter fraud is a serious overexaggeration without question.
How much does this happen?
I would say it does not happen very often.
The spokesman for the House Democratic Caucus says members are supposed to put themselves on leave when they're away. Representative Daly did that, but that request never made it onto the record until the final vote. Representative Acosta admits she forgot to submit the leave request, meaning other members have to notice and speak up, as Metcalf did that day. He says each Pennsylvania constituent ultimately suffers from the mistakes.
That person's vote that was their vote was cast by somebody that they don't elect, that they most likely don't even know.